Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to review a Zeiss Batis 85mm 1.8 for Sony E mount. At the beginning it weighs about 491 grams with lens hood. It's a very beautiful lens. It's designed for a full frame camera. Aperture from f1.8 to f22. You are getting prime looking lens in a very nice package. It has 11 elements in 8 groups inside. Before you buy, you have to consider that it's not a cheap lens, it's a very expensive lens. It's also 8 years old lens, so it's kinda old, but huge. And the most important thing in this lens is that it's the only 185mm for Sony E mount with image stabilization. So we are going to test this image stabilization also in this movie. Okay, so let's go further. We will start with sharpness of this lens. In general it's very sharp from wide open at f1.8, and when you are going higher with aperture it's a touch sharper, but it's very sharp from the f1.8, so I think that there is nothing to complain about sharpness in this lens, as you can see. So this is a huge thumb up for this lens for performance in this class category. And here is my banner when we are at the park. Okay, I know that you want to see the bokeh of this lens, so here it is. I will give you just some examples, but you have to keep in mind that I was using Sony ZV-E10, so it was a crop camera, so it's equivalent of 127mm right now, but everything is shot on 1.8. And also here is the bokeh at the minimum focus distance, and I was changing aperture, and here is how it looks like up to f9.0. The next thing is of course bokeh balls. Here is also a crop, so a little bit of the frame is cut off, but in general that's the picture you can get with this lens. And I was checking from f1.8 up to f5.6, yes, 5.6, f6.3, and now you are going to see back to 1.8 how it looks like. So I think that it's kinda good in this category. And as I said, it's the only 85mm for Sony E mount with in-lens stabilization. So here it is optical image stabilization. Now it's off, and in the second you will see what happened when I was using this image stabilization built-in lens. So I think it's kinda useful. I think that you can get very good, maybe not very good, but a decent handheld footage. So here is another example of image stabilization in this lens. I was of course handhelding, so just enjoy the rabbit. Quick review on distortion and vignetting in this lens. I think that you can see the difference when the in-camera correction is on and off, but at least I think that it's nothing horrible and nothing to deal with it. So that's it. What about chromatic aberration? It was very hard because in some examples I was seeing that the performance of controlling of chromatic aberration is very good, but in some examples I saw that control was pretty bad. So I don't know, but at least it's very good at controlling it, but in some places it has some problem. On a lens body you can find a OLED screen, and this OLED screen is showing you the depth of field while you are focusing in a manual way. So look at right now, it's under the stick because I didn't pull it out, and you can see that the distance, and on the right side you have the depth of field you are reaching. So I think it's a quite interesting feature. I don't know if you are going to use it very often, but it's quite nice and it's good looking. Also the manual focus ring is very smooth and works perfectly for me, so I had no problems with focusing in a manual way. So my final verdict for this lens: it's a premium lens, of course. It's very well designed, it's weather sealed, it has optical image stabilization 1.8, so it's also very fast lens. And I think, guys, that it's not for everyone because of the price, of course, but if you are a pro, if you are a premium user, I think that you can be happy with this lens, because there is not too much to complain about when you are working with it. So guys, thank you for watching. That's everything for today. This was Zeiss Batis 85mm f1.8. Please subscribe, like and comment below. Thank you guys. See ya.